Hey, guys. Can we talk about leaving toxic relationships? Can we get real honest here? Can we talk about how much it makes your body feel like it is going through an actual drug withdrawal? How your brain starts to go at war with itself. It starts to pick out the times that they were wonderful and they were perfect and they were amazing, and pick out the times where it can distort your reality and say, well, you caused this. You said something wrong. You did something that pissed them off. It's not their fault that they treated you like that. Or the weeks where you can't eat, you can't sleep. Sometimes this goes on for months. Your body feels like it's constantly on edge. Your heart is racing, right? Nothing feels normal. Yeah. I know what it's like to get off that roller coaster of emotions where we're going through cycles where the relationship started out as this person is like the most perfect person for me in the world. They get me. They are so sweet. They're so romantic. They do everything I ever wanted. That cycle certainly turns to confusion. It turns to they start getting more snappy. They want to tell you what to do. They isolate you from your family. They isolate you from your friends. Anytime you do something that they don't agree with, you get the silent treatment. You get the angry outbursts. Maybe you get worse than that. I know that once you do leave, those little crumbs of approval seem to be highlighted in your brain. You think that you miss them. You think that you can't go on in this life without that person. That person's what made you you, right? You want to know what you're really addicted to? You're addicted to that manipulation, that chaos that feels like familiar, that I need to be on my best behavior and live up to these impossible perfection type standards that this person holds for me. And if I don't, it's my fault. So you leave and you have to work out who you are, what you want in your life, what your life even means all over again. And I've gone through this cycle over and over and over again. It wasn't until I realized that I had worth just because I'm a human being. It wasn't until I realized that people can love me without me being on a performance all the time. It wasn't until I realized that I am strong enough to walk this life by myself before I choose another person that's going to make me feel like I have to be at a constant job interview at my 100% all the time. When I left my last toxic relationship, I was a disabled person with multiple sclerosis. I had not worked in a couple of years. I was not yet approved for my disability. I had 2 children that were living at home. We went without running water for almost 3 months. We went with hardly any food other than what our small little circle of friends brought us. Yeah, it was a struggle. I was worried that I was going to lose my home. I was left in so much debt. But I have an extremely small circle. I can count them on my hand. And together we made it through that. And let me tell you what life is like on the other side. On the other side of realizing what you deserve, what you've always deserved. On the other side of realizing that those toxic relationships are not the only ones that you can have. When you realize that things can be different. I have gone on to heal so much of my MS. I am able to walk most days. I'm able to get up and see my children. I'm able to go out and do things that I did not think I was going to be able to do. I met someone that meets me on every single one of my levels, emotionally, physically, spiritually. We can have conversations without it turning into a fight. We can have disagreements and realize that we can still love each other even if we don't always agree. Those things would never have came into my life if I had decided that I didn't want to do the work. If I had continued to listen to that little voice in my head that said that I was not worth anything more, no one else is going to want to deal with me. I am too much. I can't do this by myself. If I let that war in my mind go on, I would never have experienced the things that I'm getting to experience now for the first time in my life. And I want that for so many other people. I see so many other people struggling right now in horrible relationships, or even if they're not horrible, just they're not happy. You're just surviving every day. That's not living. I hope that people can see things can change for anyone. With the history I have, guys, I've shared everything. You all know the history I have. If I can find difference, if now my relationship is so much different than anything that I've had before, even my children are making comments about it, anyone can find that. I know that it's scary leaving what's familiar. I know that it's scary not knowing what the future is going to hold. But if you can take out a piece of paper and write down the things that these toxic individuals, be it your romantic relationships, be it your friends, be it your family, be it at your job, if you could take out a piece of paper and write down what positive things actually are added to your life because of them, and then write out what negative things are brought to your life because of them, honest. Not only on your paper, but with yourself. Take an honest look at it. Then compare it. Is it really worth holding on to? I know that leaving in some of these relationships is the most dangerous time. Be prepared. Have a plan. Have support. I get that. Don't keep thinking that things are going to change. Don't keep holding on to the hope that these manipulators dangle in front of us like a little carrot. That this person's going to love me enough to change. Or I'm going to behave enough for them to be able to treat me well. Has nothing to do with you. The only part that had to do with you is that belief inside yourself that you're not worth anything more than what you have. All right, stop talking, June. Okay. Much love. I'm always here if you guys need anything. I have spoken about more detail into my last toxic relationship. It's pinned at the top of my page if you want to know more. If you ever have any questions, if you ever want to talk to me about your experiences or how I got through something, please feel free to reach out to me. Sometimes it might take me a minute to get back to you, but I will usually always get back to you. And yeah, I'm going to stop gabbing away now. Much love. Bye.